The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a zero becomes a one, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD Black NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance.
Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG Ultragear gaming monitor.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD Black, the Esports Club League 4 Rainbow Six Siege Season 3, powered by LG Ultragear in association with ACT Fibernet, Zotac Gaming, and Games the Shop. I am your host Blackjack, and joining me is my co-host and admin Foxy, as we are here for Day 2 of Division 3, and the first match is between Instinct Esports and Team Area 69 on, and I'm a happy camper to report this, Villa, the beautiful Italian map, is in play. Foxy, how do you feel this fine evening?
No, I definitely feel good, but I hope that the weather feels as good as it looks right now. In fact, it's raining heavily right now around me, so it's a cold breeze that I'm enjoying. But we're here to enjoy something else also, and that is going to be this match on Villa. Very interesting map selection today. Definitely, we're not getting to see Clubhouse. Very happy. I'm so happy. I've got to say that. I thought after the meme game yesterday, based off that every single team is selecting Clubhouse, I thought maybe teams just might want to carry forward the meme and pick Clubhouse again just for the sheer fun of it. But I'm glad that they're listening to us. Our very dire requests. I'm just kidding. It's just they wanted to play on Villa, and they'll be playing on Villa. The first bans will come out. That is Thatcher and Thermite on the board. Mira gets taken away from Instant Esports. Instant Esports happens to be this one team that I at least feel, I wouldn't really say depend a lot, but they are very confident in their gunfights. They like to pick them, they like to win them, and more than that, it just essentially comes down to Instant Esports getting a better, I would say, one up against Area 69 when they happen to have themselves an advantage in gunfights. But let's take a look at the standings. With the last ban will be Valkyrie. Instant Esports will be standing on the second position of this league with 3 points, and the round differential puts them on the second position because everybody in the league right now has 3 points for themselves. There's only one match has gone down. That was yesterday. We'll be seeing Team Area 69, though. They'll be on 5th position because they haven't really won any match. They lost yesterday. Today it will be different. Maybe they might put up something on board. Area 69 yesterday lost to Monkers 8-7, and I don't really need to say this, but that was on Clubhouse. That was a match that went really long, really long, maximum overtime, and you know how those go down. So that out of the way, some introduction on the rosters. Bear for Asterix, Anaconda, Solar for and Column Drive on the side of Instant Esports. We have Oxy, Barcode, that is Cherry, Salamanca, Zim, and Spidey time. Boy, man, the star play of Team Area 69, Spidey, yesterday with an amazing ace clutch on the Habana. I still cannot get my mind off of it. In fact, I was even discussing with our back-end content creation team, is that the clip that you're putting up in the highlights or not? It was just amazing, man, watching Spidey play. Blackjack, going forward into this match, what are your thoughts?
Well, first thing I would like to get off my mind is the fact that, you were talking about the content creation team, about whether or not that was the clip of the Div 3 week. Now, one thing I would definitely like to say is that it would take a play of phenomenal proportions to beat that, because if you ask me, that ace with the Bana right there, yep, that was it. That is peak when it comes to content. As a content creator myself, I can say for a fact that I would have a field day with a clip like that, and I'm pretty sure our content creation team feels the same way. Now, with the match that we have in hand, Instant Esports versus Team Area 69, a quick refresher for all of our viewers, of course. Team Area 69 unfortunately lost to Monkas on Clubhouse 8-7, while Instinct Esports were able to win out against Team Selfnade on Clubhouse once again, 7-5. Both games ran pretty close, so I'm expecting this game to run somewhat close as well. Maybe a 7-4, 7-5. Who knows? Maybe overtime as well. Asterix has made his way already into Aviator, and there is a deployable shield sitting just past the landing, in fact, that is staring him in the face. And I think that's a smoke behind there. Actually, mute that. That's Aussie, who's trying to quick peek. He's got an IQ to deal with right now. Column Drive has made his way over there. But no damage being done to either of the operators right here. Ash is going to use one of her breaching rounds, but nope, the AD is going to catch it out. She's going to throw in flashbangs, but there's 2 ADSs here that will get burnt out. No, she decides not to throw a third flashbang, and that will be her second breach, completely denied from the excellent use of Barcode's utility. Gonna do a little bit of flashing. Aussie gets flashed for the time being, but since he's still behind that shield, he won't be contested. But Soulfire is gonna find Zim in the meanwhile in a Fox window right here. He gets down, but not out for the moment. As more shots are being fired, Aussie is gonna take a bit of damage, but no, his C4 is gonna do even more. Gonna take down Anaconda and down Asterix. So the kill will be confirmed. Excuse me. As Aussie gets a quick couple of kills for himself. It is not a great situation. Make that a somewhat good situation. 3 versus 3 right now. The man count has been equalized, but no, there goes the Jackal. Spidey Time is here to take down that Spanish operator, making it a 3 versus 2 versus 3. In fact, Salamanca and Spidey Time are the only ones left on the side of Team Area 69. Shots are being fired, but again, nothing too big. Barefoot takes 1 pistol bullets worth of damage from IQ. A little bit of friendly fire as one of the Echo drones, unfortunately, was caught on the ground. Salamanca, the castle, is actually still playing below. He's got an angle for himself onto what I believe is the door, entryway door to Trophy. But I don't think he's going to be able to use that just yet. Shots are still being fired, but they're not connecting onto anybody, leaving Spidey Time the only one in Sight or Astronomy. Not sure where he is just yet. It looks like both these attackers are going to push in to Trophy Room. Yes, that's Barefoot in. He's going to get Spidey Time, leaving only the castle alive in a 1v2. Castle's inside a master bedroom right now. The plant is coming down from the Hibana. Barefoot's going for it, and he's got perfect cover from the IQ right now. Shots are being fired, but no, Castle's not going to connect. He's got to find these 2 attackers, and he will find one. That is the Hibana gone. Barefoot goes down, and it's a 1v1 right now. Salamanca has to make this clutch happen. If his team is to get the first round, he's going to go for the counter defuse. Is he baiting? Yes, he is. But the IQ's got the LMG to keep firing away. The super shorty comes out, and it will not connect. Oh no, Salamanca! Unfortunate for him. The super shorty just not doing enough damage, losing out to the G8A1. And that is going to give Instinct Esports round 1.
A really close round coming there for the side of Instinct Esports. Could have been in the favor of Team Area 69. Maybe if it wasn't the super shot, it would be in the hands of Salamanca. But in the end, it was a nice try. Nonetheless, a 1 versus 2 clutch could have made that clutch happen, but just not have enough time left. Once the diffuser went down, or the post plan anyway. That out of the way, we'll be seeing ourselves go right back once again to trophies and statutory room. Similar operator selections coming in, except this time around there'll be a dog being put into play. I get it why they're trying to bring the dog, because Instant Esports, essentially, they're just coming up with a horizontal push. Like I said, Instant Esports don't like to go for the methodical pushes. They don't really like to make breaches happen. All they like to do is drop bodies, and they do that really well. Was that first round on board for themselves? And this time around, I think the emphasis in terms of how they plan to burn out the ADSs where Oxy is holding will be a little better. They've got, and that is just about to say it, thank you. That is exactly why we'll be seeing the Jaeger plays down 3 or every single ADS charge of his on this single wall. Mind you, Thatcher still being unbanned. I believe that. No, Statue is going to be banned in this match. So that gives all the while more room for Instinct Esports, or rather Team Area 69 to work with. They can use that to their advantage. They've got themselves a nice shield. I think that is Spidey Time shield that is being deployed there. Yes, it is. So Instinct Esports will have to be careful if they want to clear out the ADSs of the mute. But very importantly, the area where the mute is holding is essentially a soft floorboard. So you might as well charge it from below, or even Zofia charge it from below. You have that kind of utility for yourselves, Instant Esports. I'm not giving you ideas, but I'm just letting myself and the viewers know, for that matter, on just reviewing the situation that Instant Esports can find themselves in. I think a possible peak on the 9 is coming in from the dog. Yes, it is, but no connection from either of these players. The Jackal running the hall obviously is not exactly going to have a great time peeking that. But look at this, so much emphasis in burning the ADS out. It's finally going to take out the shield as well. Column Drive making his way back up. Oxy is going to get overheated, while Zim has moved back, I believe. Yes, he has, at least for the while. Still peeking that doorway though. The double doors, all the trophy window, but nothing that he can convert as of now, because there's no push coming from Instant Esports. Nevertheless, like I said, Instant Esports, they like to drop bodies. Once again, they'll be coming up with a horizontal push on this map. Could have gone for the breach from the bedroom, but nobody's going to be there, in fact, for that matter. Asterix is just going to walk in onto site. I don't think he's noticed that the castle is playing inside bedroom. He's going to get taken away with the FBI on FBI, but look at this. A fury of kills come out, and the victor of that is going to be on top on Team Area 69 as of now. No, yes, they will be. It's all down on drive now. 1 versus 3. Clutch situation that he's got to get for himself. He's going to get a frag that is going to be on the Zen. Your dog goes down. He's still going to find the castle and the aircraft. Bring out the drone. He's got plenty of time. Can use this. But for some reason, the drone was black and white. I'm not sure why. A little bit of a pre-fire coming in. I think the bullet holes are being noticed by the echo on that hole. Yes, he is. He pre-fires. But Column Drive is a little too quick with his movement. He doesn't want to get spotted away, at least not for a while. But this crossfire that is being put out from the side of the defense is perfect. They might as well even pick this because Column Drive not exactly in a perfect health, and he's not looking in a good shape either. A few bullets could do the job and do the deed for Team Area 69, and they'll walk away with an equalizer. Yes, they will. Team Area 69 put round 2 on board. A little rather slow round. Turning out to be in the favor of the defense, definitely, because Kingston Esports not bringing out anything new, and 69, it's not a newbie team, if you ask me, not an amateur. They knew exactly what to do. They got their, I would say, improvements in, some improv made based off how the first round went, got themselves this round. The equalizer has come into play, and now they'll be going to the second side, that is going to be Aviator and Games Room.
Aviator Games Room being the side here on round 3, of course, because the fact that Trophy was won on the side of defense, they're going to have to wait a couple rounds before they can go back there. But in that meantime, they can take a couple of other sites. Meanwhile, Spidey Time is going to go for the 6th pick out of the Mute into the Wamai. So it looks like it's going to be double denial from the side of Team Area 69 on this defensive round on Aviator and Games Room. Speaking of Aviator Games Room, this is one of those sites, that everybody sort of conferred to when Villa came out initially, way back in Operation Parabellum. And now it's not really considered top site anymore for a variety of reasons, for that matter. The list is too long to get into within the confines of one round itself, so I'm going to spare myself the trouble of going through them off the top of my head. But there are even some teams that prefer the first floor kitchen dining site over Aviator Games Room, so those matches usually tend to go Trophy, Kitchen, and then back up here to Aviator. Just a little bit of interesting insight as to how we've seen Villa be played in the WWE Black Esports Club League in the 3 seasons we've had so far. 3 seasons, 3rd season we're having so far as well, along with seasons 1 and 2, all of which have been fairly exciting indeed. Action phase, of course, is in play as Area 69 are just finishing up the last of their defensive strategies, as we've got a castle barricade sitting here on the window into 90 hallway. It should be broken anytime soon, but looks like Hibana's is going to be, yep, that's Barefoot right here. He's just going to melee it out because he's got plenty of time. But of course, meleeing this is giving away the fact that there is somebody right here. And there could be a nitro setup. Maybe, maybe not. Nope, doesn't look like any of the defenders are doing a nitro setup on that castle barricade. And drone's going to go in from Barefoot. Should be claimed as soon as it goes in. And there we go. That is, I believe, Aussie the Bandit there, who's just dropped down the hatch as Solarflare finds Salamanca. That is the castle off the board. But Solarflare goes down to Spidey Time. The refrag is in from the Wamai. Column Drive gets taken up by Aussie, and now it's a 3v4. All of a sudden, all down to the last 3 attackers of Instinct Esports, Anaconda, Barefoot, and Asterix to do something about the situation they found themselves in. He's trying to find the Wamai inside of the classical hallway, the main stairs hallway, if you will. Ash shards are going off in that direction as well, but still the Wamai sitting here undeterred with the AOG in hand. The push is coming in his general direction from the window, from the doorway, as the Ash is closing in, and there we go. The distance is closed, and the Ash will be the victor of that confrontation. Spidey Time goes down, making it a 3 versus 3 right here. And the time is slowly ticking by. We've got less than minute 25 left on the clock, and Aussie is actually on the bottom floor. He might be able to go for a flank as there's a repeller on the 90 hallway, and Barcode is actually aware of that, the Jaeger. And there we go, the repel comes in. He's going to peek it. Will he be able to find this kill? No, he won't. He's going to lose that. And the Hibana will win that, making it a 3 versus 2 right now. Make that a 2v2 as Zim has taken down Asterix. In the meanwhile, it's slowly heating up right here. We're at the 60-second mark as Barefoot is looking to make his way into Vault. He'll be able to. And mostly uncontested right now as Zim is watching the Vault door, while Aussie has just made his way back up to Classical Hallway. So Barefoot's going to be going for the plant as there is cover from the Nomad. But no, Zim's going to get taken down, make it a 1v2 on the post plant from the Hibana. He will find one, but Zim is here to take him down on the refrag, and with Barefoot off the board, Zim will have more than enough time to go for the counter defuse and give Team Area 69 round 3 off the back of a good hold, I have to say, and some good refrag games being brought in from this defensive team right here.
Definitely, that round did essentially come down to the refrag potential from both these teams. The moment the body dropped, there was another answer back from the opponents, making sure that the refrag game stays on point. And as of now, the defenders were at the top of it. The Goyo, in fact, he was perfectly positioned. We saw that. This is something that Team Area 69 has realized they can take an advantage of, is the fact that Instant Esports really don't want to go for the breaches. Did not attempt that from the bedroom onto the main triple wall onto its statue. Did not attempt that from the study room inside Aviator or the bar wall, in fact, for that matter. Area 69 using that to perfection. The Goyo playing on a position that is usually not so favorable, considering that a breach should be done already and you just cannot play there. Instant Esports, I think they want to start this match off on a rather higher difficulty based on what they're trying to do. Because it's not like they're not bringing out the Hibana, they're not bringing out the Maverick, they could do that as well, but they still have a Breacher on board. But the Breacher is the one who's doing a lot of frag duty. Look at that, Bearfur on 4 kills for himself, while everybody else is going to be below him. And that is something we usually don't get to see. The Breacher is the one that happens to breach, drone, plant, get out. That's what a breacher does. A breacher is very hardly gets to frag, but Instant Esports, like I said, very reliable on their frag potential. Zim will be bringing out 4 kills on the board so far. There's only 3 rounds expended. Some good play from the man. Castle barricades getting taken away as there's a rotation necessary for the defenders to just move around the map and themselves that kind of flexibility. We're seeing Colomdra making his way up top, study side. Solar Flare and Asterix on the Ash. I've got to say, this Asterix has been an amazing addition to the roster of Instant Esports. We're definitely very good as he brings a dynamic to their team. As since the Instant Esports, I think they've been a whole lot more structured in terms of how they like to approach a common objective or a common goal, be it a micro goal or a macro goal mid-game. It happens to be something that they work collectively towards it, and we've been seeing that not exactly the way it has, hasn't really had an amazing success rate, I'll tell you. But then again, that does take a little while. Things like these take time. It's not cakewalk for playing on this level competitively and getting yourselves, or rather, always performing consistently. I think that is something that, at least in my opinion, only one team has been able to do so far. And I think you all in the chat know the name of that team as well. That out of the way, we'll be seeing ourselves head into the mid round almost. Cherry, the barcode guy, that is Jaeger, will be holding on onto the side of Aviator room. The drone, I don't think, has spotted him. Yes, it does. Like, that's the sneaky peek from the drone comes in. And the wall bang from the Nomad is into play as well, but he's going to be exposed from the study doorway, and he gets taken away. The long drive gets a nice frag to Cherry. Zim taking some shots, I think that was from the IQ, and look at the soft breach being done. The vertical play, C4 comes out, nothing to claim as of now. And just something that they're trying to establish. Zim trying to bring out the UFP to his advantage, but nothing to claim so far. Like I said, the diffuser being dropped. I think this time around they'll be coming forward and maneuvering on the side. But no, Asterix has already walked in. He's going to claim the life of the castle, and another, that is Zim. He goes down. Both the FBI operators are down by their fellow FBI operator. That is going to be Ash. Meanwhile, Oxy is here to try and bring back the refrag game. But no, Asterix is a killing spree, sending Team Area 69 in body bags. It's all down to Oxy now. He's going to be on top. He gets himself a frag. Belfort goes down a 3 versus 1. That he can still make it happen. 30 seconds left. And definitely the time is running against the attackers right now. And look at that. The sledge is going to spot him, but the angle works in his favor instead. And Colomdra finishes it up as Instant Esports put another round on board. 2-2 is going to be the equalizer as we proceed to round 5 rather, actually. Oh, look at this. I cannot keep a track of time. That's how invested this match is keeping me. I'm not going to lie today.
Oh, absolutely. This match is definitely keeping us very invested and interested in the proceedings of it. As already at round 5, we are 2 rounds, including this round, away from the role swap on round 7. And it's going to be very interesting to see what will be the scoreline, because there's one of three possibilities right now. A 4-2 for either team, making up two of them, and of course the equalizer 3-3 roll swap, making it effectively a start from 0, because there will be no round differential in that situation. Now, to this round at hand, we're going back to Trophy, and this is a bit of an odd site, because Trophy is a site that Team Area 69 have gone to twice before, and the only reason they had to go here twice before is because they lost round 1 on Trophy Statutory. Round 2 they took with considerable ease, mind you, so they could technically, they could actually take this round with considerable ease as well, but whether or not they be able to will also depend on the kind of plays that Team Area 69, Team Instinct Esports bring out on the side of the attack. For the most part, it's pretty similar. Actually, it is the exact same operator lineup as they had a couple rounds ago. Zim playing the Doc, Salamanca on the Castle, Spider-Ham on the Echo, Cherry, the Barcode guy on the Jaeger, and of course Aussie on the Mute. But I don't think we're seeing that hallway shield in front of landing with the triple ADS to protect it this round just yet. No, in fact, Aussie's all the way in a study room. And, oh, there is a shield, actually, but Aussie, the Mute, who was playing behind there in those rounds, has abandoned his position and is all the way out in study room instead. The drones have spotted him, for that matter, and he's going to be running back to sit behind the shield, replacing the Jaeger. Zim's going to find one instead. That's Solar Flare, the IQ gone, and that's a pretty big kill. The RED scanner would have been something that the attacking team would have loved to have in this situation, especially when pushing a shield that has been placed in this way with ADSs around it. And of course, the Echo drone that we see has stunned Column Drive, for the matter. And just those small things that the IQ could have done, which she won't be able to do with the RD scanner, because unfortunately, she's not alive to detect it for now. Ash has spotted Aussie playing behind the shield, and of course she knows the deal right now. She's going to be throwing all 3 flashbangs in, then maybe having the Zofia throw her lifelines at the shield to try and take out what remains of those ADSs. Column Drive has to make his way through Classical Hall, and looks like he's going to be going into 90, which might be a bit too much of a horizontal angle for him to go and take out burn out the ADSs. As we see, there's actually somebody else sitting inside of 90 for the time being, and the Zofia has made his way. There we go, the lifelines come out, and the ADSs should be being burned, but that won't actually catch the ADS won't catch that concussion slip that was thrown in. Shots are being fired once again. That was Spidey time. The Echo trying to find the Zofia, but nothing coming off that just yet. Castle is still inside bedroom, and there's the Mute here, and the Aussie shotgun is gonna find the Zofia, and there goes Column Drive, making it a 3 versus 5. All 5 defenders are still alive. Aussie's on full HP as well. Barcode takes a little bit of damage, but no, a bit of a misplay from the Ash is gonna drop the diffuser, smack bang in the middle of the railing, as Bearface is down as well. It's all down to Anaconda, and a 1 versus 5 right now. He's very close to the diffuser. He could pick it up, and he's got about 50 seconds worth of time left in his hand, but no, there's a peek coming in from the hallway, and there we go. It is Cherry, the Barcode guy, who's going to get the kill, but there was the Mute approaching with the shotgun on landing. So yeah, Nomad was in a pretty tight spot right there, and that will of course give Team Area 69 round 5 a flawless round to them. 3-2 is the scoreline going into round 6.
So well, doing these, but definitely not doing what we usually see teams doing. It's just that they're not going for an extended breach. It's just got to happen directly on the site. They could go for it. I mean, definitely, they're not even on the side of, if you see, look at Area 69's operator lineup, they don't really have enough frontal ops. That means they're not essentially going for a C4 play on the side of bedroom. Ancient Esports could take perfect, in fact, an amazing advantage of that situation and make themselves even try and attempt a breach. I know I've been speaking about a breach since the beginning of the match, because that is something that Instant Esports is not doing, and an advantage that they are missing out on and getting rounds on board. Maybe Instant Esports just wants to try something new. Maybe they've got themselves sorted. They've already got themselves a round on board. But here's something that I want to point out. Instant Esports so far in the Division 3, they have been playing from Season 1, mind you. They haven't got relegated, they haven't got promoted. They've just been there in Division 3. Barely surviving. In fact, that is something you don't want to see happening. You either grow or, I wouldn't really say you either, want to go downhill, get relegated. That's something I hope none of the teams face, but it's a competition. That's how things work. Ancient Esports has been at least very consistent in terms of how they've stayed alive in their division. But yes, something that I think is long overdue. I think they need to get themselves the Division 2 promotion at the end of this season at least, because that is something that they deserve it, their fans deserve it for that matter, as yeah, it's been a little too long now that is still yet to happen. Ash brings out the Ash charge, but I don't think that is the location she wanted to bring it out on. And look at that, a little behind. He could have done that a little over to this side, and Zim would have found him, but she's just going to fall back and fall up. In fact, go upstairs, but Salamanca meanwhile is going to find Colondra once again in the IQ. Gets out the board, but look at that peak coming in from the Goyo, and the Nomad is going to get taken away. Anaconda goes down. The Goyo shield perfectly being used into baiting out the heads of the attackers as they try to expel the utility, trying to take out the Goyo shield. A very important piece of utility that is being taken out now, but the Jaeger meanwhile is picking up a fight onto the Zofian. He's going to win that as well. Solar Flare goes on. It's all on the Asterix and Barefoot. Both these players have been influenced so far in Esports. Will they make it work in this round or not? It's a real question. Asterix comes in, gets Spidey time. It's a very important frag. A 2 versus 4, but another crucial position given away. But Jaeger is the one to win that gunfight. What a play from Sherry here. Definitely bringing out the guns alive from the carbine. Really good crosshair placement, but it's all on to Asterix now. In a 1 versus 4, can he make this happen is the real question. The Ash knows that somebody playing on the main stage. The one my charges will catch it out. Everybody on full HP, a little bit of a bait and switch comes in, but the quick peek is into play as well, and the Battle is going to win that fight. Area 69 walk away with this round as well on the round 6, as they get themselves a definitive advantage over Ancient Esports, and looks like Ancient Esports do not want to get the second point on board. That is 6 points on board rather, as we proceed to round 7. The halftime is into play.
Round 7 roll-up is here, and the scoreline is 4-2 in favor of Team Area 69. They have been absolutely excellent in the defense, especially in these last 2 rounds, losing only one man across 2 rounds. That is a feat in and of itself. Only 1 defender lost between 2 rounds, a flawless round, and then a round with 4 people left alive. Absolutely well played to Team Area 69. But now they've got a different challenge on their shoulders right now, on the horizon as it were, as we see a double 6 pick come out, one from Solo Flare out of the smoke into the Alibi, and one from Spidey Time out of the buck into the Hibana. Looks like Spidey Time is insistent on playing those SAT operators and changing it up with a slice of Wamai every now and again. But outside of that, of course, we know exactly why. He is a very effective player. But the challenge I was talking about that Team M69 has now is the fact that they are on attacking, which is pretty much an entirely different ball game to the defense that they had just up till last round. So, given everything we've seen so far, looks like the advantage is in the camp of Team Area 69. It is a 2-round lead, and 2-round leads can be pretty big when it comes to Rainbow Six, because 2 rounds is a hefty gap. You know, that's a lot of effort that any team has to put in to equalize from that situation, and Ancient Esports will be more than aware of that, of the amount of effort that they have to put in to equalize it onto a 4-4 scoreline. Being on the defense, of course, with the current meta of Rainbow Six is going to help them achieve that just a little bit easier, as with the amount of utility any defending team brings out in competitive, they can just sit back behind that utility and take the gunfights to their heart's leisure. Attackers, of course, do not have that privilege. They have to... Okay, interesting choice from Aussie right there, deciding to throw out both of the drones just in case one gets taken out, and there we go. But he's not going to use that second one. He knows that there's an alibi inside of office, at the very least a Prisma inside of office, and looks like he's looking to go into Art Studio below to do something about the amount of utility that is here in Aviator. Solarflare, the alibi, is actually playing in here as the flashbang comes in, but it's not going to stun him, just give him a little bit of an auditory impediment. And yep, he's still sitting inside a vault, just nice and carefully behind the gigantic metal door that is the vault door. But there's a push coming in from offices and Column Drive. Jaeger is going to have to support him very well if they want to deter this push coming in from the side of the attack. Both these defenders are inside a vault right now as the Alibi is trying to find whoever's rappelling on the window outside Aviator, but no, that's the wrong move, as there is the Nomad, and there we go, that's Cologne Drive as well. Aussie gets another one, and that is going to make it a 3 versus 5. Instinct Esports once again very heavily on the back foot right here, as things are just not looking good for them ever since round 5. 385 being the score, being the man count, of course, means that they are in a bit of a spot. They have to at least get two operators, two attackers very quickly off the roster of Team Area 69 if they want to have a chance, a better chance of winning this. 3 versus 5s are, of course, not impossible, but there we go. Spidey Time is going to find Asterix, but Bearfur finally takes on Salamanca, making it a 2 versus 4 right now. Zim inside of Trophy Entrance, or the Fox window, as we call it. He knows that there's somebody inside of the B-bomb site, and he's got to be careful of that. The Legion is actually running around in Astronomy, and as the Ash Aussie watches the red carpet stairs to make sure there's no flanks coming in, another drone gets taken out. Oh, Zim, that's unfortunate. He's gonna nade himself, take himself off the equation, and that unfortunate event is gonna make things a little easier for areas Instinct Esports as C4 comes out, but it will not connect onto any attacker for that matter, and doing almost no damage, and the Kaid will not be better off for it. Shots are still being fired. Bearfur takes a bit of damage, but nope. Now, again, none of the attackers taking any damage at all. There we go. The last two defenders are dropped in a hurry by Spidey Time and Cherry, the barcode guy. And that is going to seal the deal on round 7. Post rolls up as well. Team Area 69 looking just as solid as they were on defense, giving themselves the win on round 7, making the score 5-2. They sit 1 round away from match point. And Zim, you might want to be careful on cooking those grenades on the next round onwards, buddy.
I was having a good laugh in the background here. It was really funny. As then I was switching the cams with the Nomad. I saw Zim cooking that grenade, and I was like, wait a minute, that's been in his finger for a little too long. Rather, he's pulled the ring on it a little too long. And the moment my brain said that to me, the nade blew up on his face, and that was really funny to watch as well. That was a little funny, a little bit of an Easter egg for our upcoming match today. In fact, as we have Self-Nade playing soon as well, so make sure you're staying back for that match. Self-Nade will be facing off the Tier-Nut Valiants just right after this match, as looks like this match might as well go in the favor of Team Area 69. They look very, very promising today. They've got themselves 5 rounds on board already, and once again, Area 69 as well, not really investing the kind of attack that we usually get to see. You know, this is the classic one. It's just something that they like to do, the horizontal push, looks like. Now that is a new thing. Maybe that's what they want to do, that's what they try to do. That C4 though in the last round from Anaconda, I thought that was something that will clean the life of the attackers there that he got from the shield all the way on the statue. I think that's the save shield being placed this time around as well. Yes, it is. That C4 could have been influential if it happened to connect to even one of those attackers, but just nothing that the Kaid could do at that point. He tried his level best. That out of the way will be up and running on round 8. Zofia will be employed by Salamanca. He's making his way inside the closet here. Flip puts down a Claymore, doesn't want any runouts happening, but there'll be no runouts happening as there's nobody playing there instead. Mind you, Area 69 this time around will be going for a little more traditional push on how this site is handled. Maverick is being brought on board just in case the Kaid gets happens to be a pain in the back for the side of the attacking team. They'll have to take out the Kaid charges by themselves. Either it's got to come from downstairs with that vertical play that they can exhibit with the Ash or the Zofia for that matter. But it only has to see on how they manage to tackle that. Barcode guy Cherry will be making his way, and I think he knows there's somebody playing on those blue boxes behind them. That is going to be the Legion, still waiting very patiently. A drone goes up, Solar Flare is going to lose a lot of HP, and look at that, the Legion does get spotted out. He knows this is a position he cannot make out of, and he won't. Barcode Cherry is going to claim the life of Bearfur. That's a very important frag. That's going to give them all more room to work it. But no, the Astro push is going to get shut down. A little time push, mind you, coming from the Nomad. Could have been used to his favor with some proper drone work, some mental being created out. But as of now, Zim is going to find a fragment. The soul of Classics here is to get that Spidey time. But Cologne Drive is going to drop Salamanca, and looks like TBA69 getting a little too over peaking everything. But the Ash is here. All right, Oxy, I don't know where she creeped up in from. Trophy window. All right, never mind. as I speak about it, the push comes in from the Ash from the trophy window. Zim is here watching the rappel from the Astro stairs as well. Gets a frag, gets another, and the shutdown from the side of 69 comes in once again, and they get themselves match point already onto round 9. We proceed. What a clean sweep in terms of how the attack is going down on both these teams. Nobody caring to breach, nobody caring to expend the utility. All they care is who can get frags first. Speaking of frags, let's take a look at the scoreboard. We'll be seeing Barcode Guy, that is Cherry, getting themselves 8 frags on board. And so will Zim on the side of Team Area 69, while Oxy stands on 10 frags for himself, the highest fragging member for the side of Team Area 69. We have Biffer, Colomb Drive, both on 5 frags, and Star Kingston Esports and Asterix will be topping the leaderboard for them with 7 frags for himself. Going into round 9 now, 6-2 is the scoreline. A very dominant performance, in fact, if you ask me, in terms of how you've seen Area 69 play today. Blackjack, any thoughts on what you have to say about that?
Well, for one, Fox, I would just like to point out that it was at 1.22 on round 4, but starting round 5 onwards, Team Area 69 have won 4 rounds in a row without fail, and the least amount of bodies they had alive was in the last round, round 8, where there were only 2 attackers left on their team. And even then, even when Instant Esports had their refrag game on point, it just was not enough to stop this run of domination that Team Area 69 has been exhibiting for these last 4 rounds in consecution. And just a little bit of a tidbit right there for all of our viewers at home, indeed, because after yesterday's game that they had with Monkas, which went 8-7 on maximum overtime, they will definitely be very, very on their game. And because taking Monkas all the way to 8-7, that's a feat in and of itself. And Instant Esports not having a great day, admittedly. You know, maybe they're just not feeling it. Maybe they're off a little bit today. Maybe the coordination's not as good as they want it to be, as there's already Repel on 90 hallway. Legion's watching that Beffer. He's comfortable right now. There's no peaks coming in his location just yet, but the peak might come in onto Column Drive. If Flashbang comes in, it's going to find Bearfer's eyes, as Zim is going to take down Column Drive. I just spoke about how Column Drive might be at the end of a barrel, and he has been found to be at the end of one. The barrel of Zim, the Maverick, is going to find that Jaeger. Hibana on the roundabout window in 90 hallway is trying to make her way in as a Legion Mine gets spotted out and taken out accordingly. Shots are being fired, but again, no trade-offs happening just yet. Area 69, of course, have the man advantage right now, making this a 5 versus 4. But again, a 4v5, not impossible at all. We see tons of 4v5s in Siege. For a lot of the time, for that matter, as Zim has pushed his way into 90 hallway, but no, the Legion's going to find him instead. That's Barefoot getting the kill. Hibana's going for the peek in, and that's the ill-advised play right there. Barefoot with a double kill is barely hanging on there by a thread, for that matter. But the Legion's play is going to make it a 3 versus 4 right now. Aussie's creeping up on 90 hallway as a canister from smoke has come off as well. Anaconda is going to be found on the other end of Salamanca's barrel. Salamanca takes a lot of damage as well. He's going to get taken out by the bandit. As there we go. Guns are coming alive on both of these teams right now. Aussie and Cherry the Barco guy are all that's left on the side of Team Area 69's attack on Aviator and Games Room right here. Bearfer and Asterix both are very low on HP, but if they play their cards right and get their positions correct, they could get the jump on both of these full HP attackers. As there we go, Nomad is pushing up. She knows there's a Pico right there, and as the shotgun play comes out from, I believe that's also the mute, it's going to give away his position. No, excuse me, that's Solar Flare, the smoke. It gave away his position, but he's not going to lose any HP off the back of that. The Ash should see the person playing behind the bomb. No, he's not. He's going to get the Legion, and he's going to get the smoke as well. A Solar Flare. Oh, dear me. He unfortunately team gassed Maverick. And with that team kill coming out right there, that is going to be it for Instinct Esports. On the back of a very unfortunate smoke play is going to give Team Area 69 the victory on round 9 and the victory on the map. They are your victors on Villa, 7-2. A very dominating performance indeed coming out from Team Area 69. And you can see right there, Aussie the Ash made some great plays. 12 kills to him and 9 to Zim to round things out. Very well played to both teams. And that is going to wrap it up for our first game of tonight. Foxy, any closing thoughts on what we just saw here?
Well, as of now, I'm just glad we haven't gotten to see a clubhouse. Nothing else. No, it was a good change of pace. Villa, a good show. In fact, a 7-2, a scoreline I was not expecting considering how Instant Esports played yesterday. But maybe they were just having a bad day. Maybe they were trying to do new things, or maybe it was just Team at 6-9 coming very prepared to beat Team Instant Esports. That out of the way, will be up and running with the next match that is coming up. That will be Tier 100 Valiants versus Team Self-Made. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back in just a moment. Now, maybe 2 minutes or so, but I'm Foxtrot and joining me is Blackjack, and we'll be back with the Division 3 Day 2 action in just a while.
The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD Black NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance.
Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. And injustice. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG Ultragear Gaming Monitor.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD Black, the Esports Club League 4 Rainbow Six Siege, powered by LG Ultragear in association with ACD Fibernet, Zotac Gaming, and Games the Shop. I am your host, Blackjack, and joining me, of course, is my co-host, Sam and Foxy, as we are back in the beautiful Italian map of Villa for the second game of Day 2 of Div 3 between TRNA Valiance and Team Selfnade. Both the teams are already in the ban phase, of course, and Jackal has been taken off the board. And, of course, TRN8 will get their second attacker ban. That is Thatcher. Foxy, how do you feel about the game we've got on hand?
I'm very excited. We're getting to see another Villa here. Maybe this might be the Villa day. Who knows? We get all matches in Villa like we got all matches in Clubhouse yesterday. But that out of the way, we'll be seeing ourselves get into this match with a set of bizarre bans actually. A Jackal being banned on the side of the Team Selfnade, that is a defensive team, while the Thatcher and the Mira will be banned for Saturday. And at Valiance will be starting off on attack, mind you. So the Mira ban I can only understand, but the Thatcher ban might as well bite them in the back. It only stands to see on what hard breaches they want to employ, or they might go for a horizontal push like we saw happen in the last game. Valkyrie will get banned from the side of Selfnade as well. They'll be starting off on defense, but mind you, that is another crippling factor that they'll be taking away from themselves or even the opponents that they can use for the information trade. Valkyrie happens to be such an influential operator. The MPX, the triple Valkyrie cameras that you have for yourselves, and the C4 of all things. Very nice utility that operator has. And in fact, Valkyrie happens to be one of the very game-changing operators I've seen in this game so far. That out of the way, let's take a quick look at both these rosters. Archangel, Dibjol, Majima, Sakib, and Kingslayer on the side of TRNet Valiance. While we have Eastman, Praveen Nemesis, Pabe Meister, Raghav Hunt, and Yuno 2K on the side of Team Selfnade. Raghav Hunt is back. I haven't seen him in action in quite a long time actually. I cannot exactly remember whom he's replacing today, but I'm glad that Raghav is back to the game. And it's good to see the man play. He's going to be playing mute. The emphasis on mute is going to be paramount because Thatcher is being banned. So that means, unless you're implying a Twitch, which Valiants are not, mute jammers are still going to be into play. And more than that, taking them away, essentially just going to be either you've got to have to establish some vertical control for yourselves, or even have to face check a mute jammer for that matter. And I don't know what's with the bug. For some reason, all the cameras that even when they're on the first person perspective are going to black and white. Maybe I might have to restart my game after this. Maybe it's just a spectator bug. Fun. There we go. The color's back. There we go. It's back. Yeah. I just had to switch cameras actually. I just had to switch the perspectives. But today might as well be Villa Day. Let us see if we'll be seeing the other teams pick that out in the second part of this stream. That is going to be very exciting. I cannot wait for those matches to come in as well. But meanwhile, let's talk about the match in hand. Praveen Nemesis will be playing the Pulse, and Ethan will be on a roam. All right, very interesting. He's gonna get the drone first, while some pre-fires from the IQ are happening on the bedroom window as well. Ethan, I think, is lagging out a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it's just my eyes not matching the refresh rate of my monitor. I don't even know if that's a thing. It was just a dad joke. Yeah, that was it. Yuno 2K brings out the Echo drones once again. He's got himself one of the red stairs and wants to study very good placement, because now that with the Valkyrie not in play, you got to rely on something for the information trade-off, and no Legion, mind you. That means the attackers pushing on towards the enclosures of the site will have to be stopped by either power fires or the guns of these defenders. The Carbine is waiting in full potential, full patience for that matter. That is Pabmeister. He's waiting on the hallway, waiting for the 90 Rappel to come in any moment, and that is going to be Majima. I think he's also waiting for the attack base to establish control downstairs and maybe try and get the mute jammer off. He can attempt the plant, or he's just cutting off rotation for anybody trying to rotate back from the 90 hallway. The Pulse does get spotted out by Sakib, but the real question is if they'll be able to go on a hunt for that Pulse. Pulse, very influential, could use the soft floorboards to get himself a kill or two, but only stands to see if he'll be using that or not. Kingslayer does bring out the IQ and running the commando of all guns. Could spot out the Pulse if he wants to. Brings out the RUD scanner just as we speak about it. I'm sure there's a lot of pressure being put on the FBI SWAT operator downstairs. Praveen Nemesis has to be very careful about what he chooses to do with his cardiac sensor and his C4. He has spotted the IQ, but the IQ is going to spot him back. Oh, the shots being taken to the body and not to the head so far, and that is going to keep him alive so far. Kingslayer, meanwhile, is going to get himself a free kill, and Netro goes out. Nothing to claim. a wasted potential in terms of how the pulse could have been used, but nothing the man could do. With comes in, he's going to get the IQ, a nice headshot, but meanwhile Saqib is going to get Uno 2K on the other end. That's your echo of the board. That means the denial that you had is gone, but guess what else is gone? Saqib's head along with it. The buck goes down through up in the hands of Raghav. That is a mute. Archangel is making his way up main stairs. Dipjon is going to find himself another kill on the main stairs. Classical hallway for that matter. As Raghav and Praveen is all that is left for the side of Team Self-Made to salvage of what is left of this round. 15 seconds left. The push has to come down to this front side of Whalings. They'll be making that push up in the games room for the mute to get freedom. But that flick comes in from the Nomad. Play from the player, that is Archangel. It's all on Praveen. He's got to notice where the plant is going down. He gets a drop onto the planter. Only 3 seconds left. Can they go for the replant? The diffuser comes into hand, but the cardiac sensor is still into play. And that is it. Team Self-Made win off on the back of the pulse. And what a play coming in from him. Oh boy, Praveen Nemesis wins themselves an amazing round just by sheer presence of gameplay, game sense on that matter. And Team Self-Made walk away with round 1 as we proceed round 2, 0-1 in the favor of Self-Made.
Alrighty then. Foxy, I don't know if you're aware of this, but you did, yeah, you muted yourself on Discord right at the end there. I was completely lost on what you were saying. But come back to the match on hand. Praveen Nemesis, I believe, was the pulse in that round, and what a play from him indeed, using the cardiac sensor and staying alive on the bottom floor. He used the C4 earlier in the round, but of course the play of the round was denying the diffuser using the UMP at the very last seconds of the round itself. And that is of course what gave Team Self-Made the first round on board for themselves. Round 1 went to them, and of course the first round on board is a very important step for that matter in any particular match that you're playing. You want to get yourselves going, you want to get your rhythm set, and winning that first round is where it all begins from. And Team Self-Made will be, well, they were in a bit of a pinch, of course, mind you. It was a 1v3 that the Pulse was in. But again, some smart use of the cardiac sensor and some good awareness of his of his current situation. Ethan looks like he wants to go for a spawn rush right here outside of Laundry. He's using the exterior camera on driveway to see if there's any attacker who's going to be going up the garage stairs, but doesn't look like it. I think I see 4 bodies on the southwestern side of the map. Not sure where that 5th attacker is, but probably nowhere near where Ethan wants them to be. And that is, of course, going to stop him from going for a run out, getting that early kill onto TRNA Valiance anytime soon. A quick reminder for all of our viewers at home, of course, TRNA Valiance and Team Self-Made, we saw them yesterday. Team Self-Made unfortunately lost to Instinct Esports 7-5 on Clubhouse. And TRNA Valiance, of course, need I even remind everyone, because I'm pretty sure that match is on everyone's minds. It was a 7-0 sweep over Saver Esports on Clubhouse again. Now, come back to the match at hand. TRNA Valiance, of course, they've lost their first round, but they can very easily come back from this. And again, early game is not an indicator of what could happen. In the late game, it could be a comeback from a 4-0 to a 7-4, or all the way to overtime, or any number of combinations of scores and round counts. Vigil's ability is going to disrupt one of the drone's lines of sight, and that was Dibjol right there. Got the bars on his drone, meaning that the Vigil was somewhere close by. He's going to trade that intel out with the rest of his team, of course, as looks like, not sure where Vigil is right now. He's actually below. That's Ethan. So that's through the floor that disruption is working. As Majima, there we go. He found whatever that was. I believe that was an echo drone all the way on the rafters of a bedroom, as the pulse has been spotted out by Archangel's drone, and that is going to be something big because they know exactly how deadly the pulse play can be from Team Self-Made, and they have to take him out as soon as possible. Of course, focus will be on that push, but Majima with the diffuser is already on the bedroom window as shots are being fired by Saqib the Buck. from Classical Hallway's entryway into towards side. As Praveen takes a bit of damage, he's going to be taken out, and that's a big kill. Kingslayer taking down Praveen with that push that was being set up with the droning is going to amount to something massive later on. More shots are being fired as the mute will go down, making it a 3 versus 5. Team Selfmade are in real big trouble right now as the IQ is now looking for electronics, and Yuno is actually going to find Majima. That is the Hibana gone on bedroom window. That's also the diffuser as Ethan finds another one. That's a keep, and unfortunately the Nomad is caught vaulting in as Dibjal finds another one. He's going to take down Ethan, making it a 2 versus 2, all down to Pabmaster and Yuno for defenders and Dibjal and Kingslayer for the attackers. Looks like it might be a push on towards Statutory. I say that with a question mark. Of course, as the Pabmeister goes down, he's going to lose to Kingslayer. And Yuno, of course, has to deal with the Zofia, but no, the Zofia looks the wrong way, giving him the first kill. What could be a clutch? He's going to peek it. Should he find the IQ? No, he won't. He will be denied. He's going to whiff a lot of his shots, and Kingslayer will happily take that kill. And that will give, of course, TRN8 Valiants their first round. That is a round 2 on board, and unfortunate for the Echo right there, whiffing a few too many shots, trying to get the scope on the head of the IQ, not being able to. And, of course, the IQ will take that 7 days of the week. 1-1 is the scoreline going into round 3.
Oh boy, that did come really close. If not, he shouldn't have gone for that wall. I don't know what was thinking. Could have just played that to, he just could have played a little back foot. Maybe, I think, what he was expecting is that the push was coming in from the side of bathroom. So he had to maneuver back onto the side of statue. That way he'll be able to survive. But by the time he vaulted the shield, he realized that, oh, wait a minute, the push is not from bathroom and it's happening from statue. That means I'm going to have to win this gunfight, and sadly he did not. But it also did essentially come down to Yuno pulling that round on his back. 4 frags, I think, that is he got for himself. That was 2 outside the window, and that was, I think, 3 frags maybe.
That was 3, yeah. He was online for the 4K, but unfortunately he just couldn't do it.
Yeah. He could have done that, but Kingslayer was just better in that gunfight. He had the obvious advantage. And also, missing his shots, that more importantly. Kingslayer didn't miss his shots. Could have done that better, could have played that better, but it did come down to a close round, and Team Selfmade are definitely proving to be very, very promising in terms of how they're playing right now. It did not work out for them in this round, in the last round, definitely, but maybe this time around they will have to pick up the pace that they are exhibiting. And like I said, maybe it's just the fact that Raghav Hunt coming back to the game and coming back to play for his team. Selfmade is just a change of pace that they needed. They've just going to spot at the Witcher, but the Witcher is something little too evasive. He's just going to fall back and start vibing inside the piano room. As that is what I like to call him when he turns on his ability, because you get this vibe thingies on their drone, right? I don't even know. Yeah, that's just what I like to call it. But that out of the way, Praveen will be playing. That is Nemesis downstairs. He's playing on the pantry, the meat shop area. He's got himself a nice cardiac sensor to spot at any heartbeats approaching him closely. But mind you, this is not your friendly neighborhood pulse. He'll take you out if he happens to spot your heartbeat. So a very important and a very influential play from a Nemesis coming out in the first round that got themselves the round on board. But TRN8 Valiant so far looking a little shaky after the dominating performance yesterday on the map of Clubhouse. A 7-0 victory, stayed up, no contest from the side of Saber Esports either. Today they look a little shaky against Team Selfmade as they get themselves spread for this horizontal push that they are. My bad, I just happened to. So I have my mute button that is right above the tab button, right? Is a console key. So the moment I try,
the squiggly key,
yeah. So the moment I try to, press tab to change something up on the overlays in the stream, I happen to by mistake mute myself as well. But that out of the way, we'll be seeing Dibjal making his way onto landing. I think he does hear the pulse out. No, that's a Witcher who's greeting him. A good night, in fact. But the IQ is here to greet him right back. A refract comes into play. Kingslayer knows there's a pulse playing, and this time they won't be making the same mistake that they did last time. Trying to hunt the pulse down. Praveen Nemesis is just being a little too evasive. He's going to be all the way on the side of Memorial. He does spot at somebody walking in. No, the cross replacement won't be right enough. While Kingslayer is going to find himself a kill. Pabmeister goes down. Nemesis, Praveen, he still has the C4 on his on himself. He's got the cardiac sensor, but I think he's been spotted out from the hallway. Any moment now the pulse push could come in. No, Kingslayer knows exactly where he's playing. Nemesis will greet him, and yes, the IQ is going to go down. It's a 3 versus 3, and now the pulse's position has been given away. That means the attackers have to be wary about the position, but C4 should go out any moment now. Still being a little... He's just playing this to... a little more patience. Oh no, Rago missing all his shots and two. The Hibana, but he's going to connect the shotgun. What is going on, Rago? He doesn't win the second shotgun and doesn't connect it. But now Archangel will have to stick the plant, and a very good choice in terms of where the plant is going down. And Praveen knows this. He cannot go for the C4. That is why he has to go for the gunfight that he has to take. And the UMP in hand. Will he win that against the Nomad? It's a real question. Nomad a little on HP, but that is not even the something that the Pulse has to worry about. The timer that is against him. A reverse rappel comes into play. There's going to be something that Praveen will have to fight it out all by his guts, and more than that, all by his wits. Very importantly, the shield will be there to protect him. So how long is a real question? He can long arm it maybe? No, he's just going to peek that wide. Oh yes, he can definitely long arm it. Oh yes, he's doing it. Archangel knows that he cannot do anything from here. He's going to have to make this push happen. Does he get the plant down already? No, the defuse kind of refuses off, and the Pulse is going to win that fight. He gets the clutch. Praveen Nemesis once again clutching for Team Self-Made. What a play from this man. What a consistency in terms of how this man is putting out his pulse plays on board. Team Self-Made once again walk off with another round on board, all by the wits of this one man himself, Praveen Nemesis. Mind you, don't forget this name. Team Self-Made go 2-1 into round 4.
Oh boy, what a play indeed from the Pulse once again. This time not able to, of course, deny from below because of the hard ceiling that the plant was going down on, but unfortunately for the side of TRN8, that wasn't enough. Even if the plant was off, the play was there from Praveen. He got the idea of where the Nomad was, the upside down rappel, of course, with the shots being fired, face checking the doorway was the right thing to do, and then baiting him out with the counter defuse, as Yuno is going to be going for the 6-pick out of the Goyo into the Jaeger, and second floor Aviator is going to be the site once again from the defending team. So, all of that being said and done, of course, once again, it is a 1-2 scoreline in the early game right now in favor of Team Self-Made. Both rounds that have been won, mind you, have been won off the back of a good play by a Pulse. Any Pulse for that matter, you know? And it's just, it's a curious little thing that I took note of, because in the first round, back in Aviator, you had Pulse doing the denial of diffuser from below with the cardiac sensor using the UMP. This time, he wasn't able to do that. Praveen Nemesis, of course, he had to push back up, but still a good play to take out the Nomad and have enough time for the counter defuse. A little bit of a, curious thing. But he's done his job, and that is exactly, of course, why he's been brought on board. Now, curiously enough, Ethan is actually playing the Frost, an operator you don't really get to see a lot of when it comes to competitive Rainbow Six, because her guns are admittedly just a little weak. I know we all used to call her shotgun the Sniper 90 back in the days when shotguns had a ridiculously large range. But of course, since those days, the shotguns have been changed to be more in line with what a buckshot can do and what it cannot. And so overall, gadget, great. Frost gadget is actually really good, although her elite, the elite version of the gadgets with those gigantic metal teeth, a bit of a giveaway that, oh hi, there's a Frost trap here. But again, those are just some things we've observed over the years as a community of Rainbow Six Siege. All of us, of course, love this game in almost equal measure, I'd say. Some more than others, of course. Raghav going to go for a C4. The Trizion spots him out, and he's not going to go for the C4 now. Oh, no, he's just debating, really, over there as to whether or not he should go for it or he shouldn't. But the Hibana, who was repelling that's Majima on the 90 window, has gone farther down on the wall there so that he won't be taken out by any rogue C4 throws coming out from the defending team right here. More droning coming out from TR9 Valence as we have a bit of a stalemate. I don't know, the C4 does finally come out from Raghav, and he will still find Majima. Majima decided to come back up to peek the window, and that was unfortunately not the play, as his death also means that TR8 lost the diffuser temporarily. It has been picked back up, but at the cost of an entire operator being lost to a brick of C4. Archangel's pushing up to 90 Hallway with a drone at his feet, and an Echo drone is going to stun him, of course, forcing him to push away from here for that matter. As in the meanwhile, Dibjol looks like he and Sakif are pushing up towards the landing entry door of Aviator Room. Still more droning happening from TRN Valence, as IQ is going to find one of the Echo drones as well, and to take it out with the RD scanner being put to great use. Enemy spotted second floor is the call made by Zofia, as the Twitch is going to be looking to peek, and oh, there goes Ethan. The Frost is down, mind you, but her traps are still on board, as there is somebody inside the study room. But no, the Echo's going to get one, and from inside the study, Papmeister has found another one, but he's going to be taken out as well, making it a 2 versus 3. Archangel taking down, 3 defenders still alive. Make that 2 as the Echo goes down. It's a 2v2 right now, all done to Praveen and Raghav, and Praveen's going to find one. That's Archangel off the board. It's a 1v2 right now. Kingslayer has to pull this out for his team. He's got the diffuser, but he has to play against a Pulse, who is still alive. Praveen Nemesis is alive for his team. Will he find where this plant is going off, or will it be Raghav with the mute to counter it? It doesn't look like either of them are going to do that, as the plant has gone off. Raghav's pushing 90 Hallway a bit too late, and Praveen was not even close to where he needed to be to deny the fuser. That's one kill for the IQ. Will he get the other one? Yes, he will! The peek and the turnaround on both the remaining defenders is going to give Kingslayer the IQ, the 1v2 clutch in the post-plant situation for his team. And that is going to give TRN8 Valiance round 4 on second floor. Aviator, what a play indeed. And that is going to equalize the scoreline 2-2 going into round 5.
You can outplay them, but you definitely cannot outgun them. A perfect display of skill from Kingslayer over there. A really nice 1v2 clutch. Clean shots, a double shot to win the round. Very well played by the man Kingslayer. Definitely racking up the kills for himself, and more than that, giving TRN8 a fairly good equalizer, and more than that, not allowing their opponents to take that advantage away from them. The Pulse, I'm not sure, Praveen, why you were looking to invest it on the side, on the entire south side of the map. I think you were expecting the IQ to be a little far away from the side, but the IQ already pushed in, using the surprise element to perfection, using I would say the defenders didn't really know where she was playing, and that is what pushed them on a corner that they really couldn't fight against. And mind you, they did have the Echo being put into play. It's not like they did not have the information traded off. The Legion was being played as well. No, Legion was not employed in the last round. I think that was the Frost in the last round, yeah. So maybe the Echo could get caught out by the IQ. That is why the information trade-off was not high enough, and that could have been the issue, where Self-made just could not get what they want for themselves. But no, Ethan, this is not a reinforcement you want to be doing. You want to go back, watch Season 2 Saber Esports Qualifiers match, you should definitely watch it. That one reinforcement essentially lost their spot for... Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's an old memory, all right.
Oh yeah, that reinforcement doesn't really work in your favor. Definitely not. Yeah, for anybody watching it curious on why that reinforcement shouldn't exist, because if the attackers happen to breach the wall from study all the way onto the side of aviators, that reinforcement provides all the while more cover for the planter to go and do whatever he wants, because bar happens to be such a crucial position for denying any plan that happens in that area. And if you keep the reinforced wall open, and in fact, even with a few head level holes, you can get a nice line of sight from bar all the way onto this doorway that is landing, where the Legion is about to play and enter. Look at that. So my suggestion, you want to get yourselves maximum advantage tactically in the game, do not reinforce that wall. That out of the way, we'll be seeing Williams make their way inside the side of Statutory. That is going to be Archangel. He does know there's a Legion man somewhere up there, but not exactly sure where that is. He's trying to spot him with some random pre-buff in the game with his gun. Just staying on the top of the skate table, and so will Kingslayer in a moment. Nemesis is going to find somebody from downstairs. That is, he's playing in the living room, mind you. Just waiting very patiently. Socket is playing outside the trophy windows. That means it's a roof that he cannot see for, but at least the information trade-off is happening. The Pulse knows exactly where Kingslayer will be playing, though he's got to spot him out any moment now. It's only a matter of time till the IQ decides to fight against him as well. Oh, look at that. Oh no. This is... Oh no. This could be...
Oh no.
No, that's not... That's not... Look at that. Yeah, that is exactly what I was trying to talk about. I think that was maybe a bait from Sakib, or he was just lucky that the bait happened. As Nemesis... I can get it. The walls look very similar. The man got a little confused. Meanwhile, Sakib is going to drop the head of Ethan. Praveen Nemesis is going to drop the head of Dips. Right. Praveen still staying alive, or more than that, still staying strong with Praveen. Got for himself. Pat Max will be on the flank, and it only stands to see if happens to be in this influential position. The Ash Archangel will be making her way in any moment now, but the Legion needs to go for this white peak, and he's going to catch her off guard, and he's going to win that gunfight barely. In fact, only 5 or 10 HP remaining for the Legion. A white peak has to come in any moment now, but there's Zotac waiting for him to make that peak happen. He's just going to walk inside, face check that angle, and he's going to get that frag as well. That is funny. He's had to cross the side entirely. That Nemesis is doing a lot of work downstairs. He's going to get himself another frag, but the plan is already going down. I don't think this is known by the defenders. No, they know it, and Raghavan is going to get a frag. It's all out of Saki, but 1 versus 3 now. Everybody full on HP. The defenders have to work this out, and now very well positioned crossfire. Anytime the counter defuse could come in, but the prone pig is in from the side of Sakiri. Somebody's flanking him. He's not going to notice that. He tries to prefire, but at what cost? There's no way he can cover 3 different angles and find 3 different attackers on Team Self-Nade. Get themselves another round on board, and what a display of skill from this team, perfectly holding down with the crossfires that they needed for themselves, and that'll take us on to round 6, I believe that is. Yes, it is.
Round 6, of course, the last round before a roll swap in round 7, is a pretty crucial round when it comes to a map like Villa. 3-2 being the scoreline, of course, means that there are only 2 things that could happen here. Either, of course, the blue team, that is TRNet Valiance, wins this round and equalizes the score count 3-3, or we get a 4-2 lead for Team Self-Nade going forward. And of course, a 4-2 lead for Self-Nade going into attack is a good thing for them, because with the way Rainbow Six is right now, Villa can be a little bit of a defender-sided map. A little bit, not a whole lot. Attackers can take control fairly effortlessly, given they have their coordination in place. As this time is going to be the one bringing in the Rook, and okay, I did not know you could, use your Q and E lean buttons while picking up Rook armor. That's a new one. Not sure if that's a bug or a feature. I'm pretty sure the answer we're going to get is yes. So, yep, there is that. The Rook being brought into play from the side of Team Self-Nade. Of course, the Rook armor is helping them out due to the damage reduction that all operators get by picking up the sweaters that Rook gives out for free. And it's definitely helping Team Self-Nade to an extent in winning these gunfights, because of course they're absorbing a little bit more damage than they normally otherwise would have. We had Ethan play the Rook a couple rounds ago, and this time it is Yuno, and looks like Yuno wants to go for a peek from outside the master bedroom. Oh, he gets seen though, and that was unfortunate, a bit of a misplay, and Majima will take full advantage of that misplay, taking down the Rook, and the French operator on the defensive side is off the board very, very quickly. Now, of course, here in Valence, we know exactly what they're going to do next, as Team Self-Nade, of course, is just about finishing up putting down the last bit of the utilities, as Jaeger's ADS from Papmeister. We saw him put it down. TR and Valence, of course, are going to slow down for a bit, drone out as much as they can, get all the intel that they need before they start making their executes happen. And then, of course, they have to make sure they don't drone for too long and then end up giving away any round advantage that they could have had due to the lack of time. It has happened before to quite a few teams, for that matter. We saw that a lot during the qualifier phase before the divisions began. That was last week, of course. And it's a common mistake, but it's one that a lot of teams like to and are able to avoid with efficient droning. Abmeister is sitting inside of Trophy as Praveen actually goes down, and he's going to be taken down by Dibjol, and that is a big player off the board. We've got Raghav Hunt going downstairs. He's on the back hallway, red carpet hallway, as it were, outside of kitchen entrance, and a Nomad charge has been put here. One of the air jabs is going to stop him from making that push happen at all, and he's forced to pull back up, and now it is a 3 versus 5 that Team Self-Nade has to deal with the loss of the Pulse, who has been a major player throughout this match so far for them. Raghav is going to be sitting inside of Trophy Room, looks like, just taking out a couple of the chairs, taking its place instead, and Papmeister inside of Statutory for the time being. And of course, Ethan just in between, running around, making sure that he gets his lurk game in inside of Astronomy for the time being. He thinks that there's someone coming up Astro Stairs, but no one is just yet. The push looks like is going to be on primarily focused on Bedroom and into Statutory. As there we go, Hibana's X-Kairos pellets are being used, and there we go, the breach has been made. More flashbangs are being thrown in to burn out any ADSs or catching defenders off guard. As Ethan, sitting inside of astronomy, could go for a bit of a big play right now because I don't think the attackers have any idea that there is a Mozzie here, and he will go for it. But no, he's going to miss, give away his position instead, and the drone inside of astronomy is going to spot him out. Shots are being fired from, I believe that's below. Not sure where those shots come from. Yes, they are from below, in fact. As Papmeister going to take down Kingslayer instead. Raga's going to take down Saqib. That's a couple of really quick kills, making it a 3 versus 3. And Moz is going to find one more, making it a 3 versus 2. Suddenly, the advantage has swung in favor of Team Selfmade, but there we go. The Ash is here to take down the Mozzie, equalize the roll count. But Papmeister finds Majima. It's all down to the Ash, and he will not win this fight at all. As Raghav is going to win that gunfight over Dipjo. And oh boy, it is the Mutant Jaeger show for the side of Team Selfmade, excuse me. As they have won round 6 on second floor trophy. A very, not very, but somewhat unexpected right there from both of those operators. But a very well played indeed, winning that 3 versus 5 situation they were in, giving themselves the 4-2 lead going into round 7. Roll swap.
I gotta say that Team Selfmade played that to perfection. Had the time on for themselves. They knew that they could beat the clock or use the clock to their advantage. Waited, I would say, a lot of patience that paid off for them towards the end of the round. The attacker is not quick enough to realize that they won't have the time left for the end execute because they had still so much groundwork to still put on. You know, the breach wasn't happening. XYZ, the shield still into play. They had the Legion into play as well, but that out of the way, it did come down to the defenders holding down very influential positions and winning these gunfights. I mean, it does come down to Team Selfmade always. They're very nice, and this is something I really love about the team as well. They're really good with the gunfights. They like taking them with confidence, and they like winning them as well. Just like I speak about in Esports. Whereas the side of aliens, they're a little more methodical, they're a little more structural. They like to follow that, and that is their strong point. But looks like it's just something that Team Selfmade has found a formula to cut through. Let's take a quick look at the scoreboard. Meanwhile, Kingslayer will be racking 9 kills for himself, and Dipjol with 6, a little bit of a 6-9 going there. Nice. While Praveen Nemesis will be bringing out 7 frags on board. And actually on the side of Selfmade, everyone's got a little bit here and there, but almost equal amount of frags, you know, in terms of how the distribution and the saturation of the frags look like. It is good. It is good. That is what you'd love to see on the side of the team. There's no essentially fragger, you know what I mean? The support can frag as well. We did see that happen from the side of Bear, for instance, in Esports, sadly. That frag potential, what use was it? Because they lost that match 2-7, excuse me. Kingslayer knows that there's somebody outside. He's got himself a nice cardiac sensor. Kingslayer will be running the Pulse on this map, and a Pulse very influential operator, mind you. The way this map is designed, he's got himself a nice basement, but here's the thing. You can still see the heartbeats that are coming in towards the second floor hallway, or rather the second floor Whartons. And you just have to be at the right spots at the right time. That is how Pulse is played on this map. And I don't really need to specify some plays by some amazing players in the Pro League community. That is by Canadian, by Foxy. That is obviously of yeah. So we'll be seeing ourselves head into round 7 now. This road swap has happened. Arcane Saqib has brought himself the Jaeger. They've got a nice shield, and Majima won't be deploying the mine. So looks like Valiants don't want to employ the Echo. That is for the information trade-off. Ethan brings up the Ash, while Praveen will be on the Zofia as well. Buck will be brought on board by Pab Maestro, but breach of inside Team Selfmade, and looks like Raghavan does hear somebody out. That is Kingslayer, I believe. Picking that fight any moment now. Kingslayer knows there's somebody close to him as well, but he's got to be very careful that he doesn't give away his position. Raghavan and Kingslayer very, very close to each other. The LMG and the UMP in hand, but it'll all come down to who wins the gunfight in the position they've got for themselves. It's a stall point for them. But Rago will choose to make that push happen because he's the attacker. He has to make that push happen. He does not hear the pulse, and he's going to whiff his shots. The UMP wins over that. Kings is going to find the IQ. Very important kill for the man. That's why you don't go on a solo roam mission. Hunt roam mission. At least Dipjol. Oh, Dipjol could have got that Alamine into his hands, but guess what? Praveen decided to take that Alamine off, and along with that, the head of a defender. But the ally is here to fall, to take the fall for Praveen. He's going to take him out, but Kingslayer, meanwhile, on the other hand, all right, so 12 kills come out, but But gets taken out eventually by Sakib, or rather that is Fabmaster, excuse me, as I get a little confused in the whole shots. More than that, I'll get a little confused. I just happen to drop some water on my keyboard. Fabmaster will bring in the stuns on board. He tosses them up in the red flank, hoping that anybody coming that gets flashed, but there's nobody other finding him. I don't know what the Jaeger was doing. Sakib gets taken away. It's 2 versus 1. Fabmeister heavily in the disadvantage. He's got to be very careful in terms of how the way this peak has going to go down to. He's making this push happen, but the All Blacks going to win that any day. The spam of the 80 bullet mag comes in and Williams walk away with round 7, bringing another round about 3-4 scoreline. And there's a stopping Selfmade right now from getting quite more closer to match point.
3-4 is the scoreline, still in favor of Team Selfmade, of course, but with that one-round victory, TRA and Valiance have put themselves 1 round closer to equalizing with Selfmade, and Selfmade, of course, will be a little down at the fact that they aren't able to go to match point just yet, and they will have to pick themselves up on the attack right here because, as we mentioned before, Villa as a map can be defender-sided with the way Siege is right now. The meta is, that is, as we see Kingslayer go out of the 6 pick, out of the Capcan into the Wamai, and it is double denial time from the side of TRN8 Valiance on their defense right now. It should be fairly interesting to see where we go from here, as both these teams are, of course, fighting for the victory. And Sakib with a very purple shotgun. This reminds me of my own early days. I used to run this purple gun skin on pretty much everything, every new op I got, every new weapon. And yeah, at one point I used to play with the color purple a lot. It's just a thing that I remembered, seeing this very purple shotgun that is in the hands of the smoke. Come back to the match in hand. Of course, we're on second floor trophy right here. And TRI Valiance, of course, having 1 aviator. Again, that's a sight that you don't see a whole lot of, admittedly, especially when you go to the higher divisions, divisions 2 and 3. And a site where even if teams go to, the win rate isn't exactly the greatest when it comes to the map of Villa. So you have seen, how many aviator wins have we seen today? 1, 2, 3 wins on aviator today between both these teams. That's actually quite a lot amongst the 4 rounds that have been played there. So, yeah, the win rate today on Aviator, actually quite high indeed. We've got the Wamai Kingslayer sitting behind the shield and Astronomy behind the blue boxes of Astronomy. Of course, a common spot for anybody wondering. This is where a lot of defenders sit when they are playing. In Astronomy, they have to be safe from this window that Buck is pushing. Papmeister, of course, taking down the default camera, and of course, be safe from Bathroom. And also from Astronomy Stairs, there's pretty much 3 angles, although Astronomy Stairs and Astronomy Window could be bunched into the same angle because the entry is the same and the shield is going to be going into your right. Praveen, in the meanwhile, opens up Fox window right here. Looks like he wants to push very close to the B bomb site, but he's got to be careful, of course, because the bomb site means that the defenders are teaming in that area. You can see Sakib over there with the smoke holding down that entryway, and you've got Dibjol inside a vault who could go for a flank, as Raghav is actually hunting away for somebody below, and Ethan takes a lot of damage from the Jaeger in the meanwhile. Ethan's inside a walk-in closet and Jaeger's inside a bathroom, so that's a fight that was bound to happen, but no, the Ash is going to fight the Ella instead, and that is Dibjol off the board. Taking a good kill onto that roamer, and that is going to be the Ella gone. The Scorpion and the 41 round mag will no longer be active in this round. Jaeger should find the Twitch. No, he's not. Ethan doesn't even take any more damage, but neither does Archangel, excuse me. More shots are still being fired. Ethan takes a bit more damage, but again, he's still alive. No, he's not anymore. And Kingslayer is going to go down in the meanwhile to Raghav Hunt's LMG, the G8A1, coming to life as IQ is going to push up the backstairs, the Astronomy stairs right here. And of course, Papmeister is looking to push into Bathroom. Jaeger shuffling around behind the blue boxes of Astronomy has given away his position to the IQ, who can hear Jaeger's clothes rummaging around, but one of the smoke canisters came out, didn't do any damage whatsoever to Raghav, even though visually speaking he was well within the gas cloud. He will not take any damage for the time being. It is a 4v3. TRN Valiance in a bit of a tight spot right now. as Jaeger's going to be still holding down Astronomy, but he's got to be careful of the attackers that are trying to push him from inside the bathroom. There's 2 people in there for that matter, and he's very thankful for the fact that the Wamai charge caught one of the Zofia charges. Majima in the meanwhile is going to take down Raghav, and Archangel is flashed out of his mind, but Yuno's going to go down to Saqib. Wally took down Saqib, and that's a trade right there with the shotgun as Zofia's trying to push in through bedroom, but no, there's the TCSG coming to life from Majima. It's a double kill for him. It's all down to Papmeister to find 2. He's going to find 1. Will he find the Jaeger in time? He's got no time. He's got to make the push happen, and he will not. No, he won't. TR8 Valiance will manage to just scrape by. Unfortunate for the Buck. He got the Kaid, but whiffed his shots on the Jaeger a bit too much. And Team Selfnade will still lose that round on the second floor trophy, which will, of course, give the round to TR8 Valiance. Round 8 goes to them and equalizes the score count 4-4. No one's favor.
Oh boy, this is definitely shaping up to be such a close match. Papmeister almost running ahead of Jaeger, not realizing that he's on a soft wall where those the lines of sight are being made towards the red stairs. Just some missed shots, a missed opportunity that could have been an amazing clutch for the Buck. On a 1 versus 2 that he had to make some plays happen, but a really nice try at least, but it's coming so close. I've got to tell you that, man. Every single round so far, there's not been one round where we've had, correct me if I'm wrong here, Blackjack, have we had like a flawless round or something even close to that?
Not even close, Foxy. Not
Exactly.
even close.
We've had
always...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always been close to like a 1v2 or a 1v1 even on most rounds for that matter. Yeah.
That is amazing to watch. In fact, that gets me off my feet and off my chair for that matter. Just some amazing plays that we're getting to witness. We love to see that. Well, being the map today, we'll be getting to witness that. A very, very nice map, in fact. And one thing I need to point this out right now. I love the way the teams are approaching this map. In fact, will happens to be a linear map where you have so much more potential to play the way you want to in terms of how the frag games go out. And look at this, pocket strike coming in from the side of Wadians here. So he will be reinforcing that memorial wall anytime soon, and yes he is. The castle barricade is going to isolate that memorial wall completely, but look at this, the changing factor. The prone holes that are made onto the main wall that is supposed to be breached is going to change things up, is going to make sure that any attacker that is trying to make their way inside laundry will get caught out. And the way this setup looks like, you can even have a remote control over that side of laundry with your presence being on site. Not necessarily will have to hold only with the shield that is usually employed and the vertical play, even if it has to come in. There is all the while more room for the defenders to roam around. A good strategy for wins. Let us see if that is going to pay out for them or not. Meanwhile, we'll be seeing Victor Hood and along with Kingsley that is going to be on Astro Stairs, hold on the top floor. But the push is coming in from the mud room. That is going to be the Zofia. I think there is somebody waiting for him. I think that is a smoke. I'm not sure why. Archangel is going to be playing offside. Yeah, the smoke of Raiders, you maybe don't want to be playing that. Alright, spot that deployable cam position in the hallway. That means information trade-off will be huge in terms of how they intend to do this. Saqib is rolling with a castle barricade for himself, but this is Zofia waiting right behind them. Ethan meanwhile is going to come with Jema, and look at this. A strat falling apart a little bit quickly because Team Selfred has found themselves a formula to beat that. Kingslayer is going to get a frag, but here's Mozzie from the top floor to get himself down, and the finisher as well. Ibarra trying to find that kill, but no, Ripjol is going to win that. What does he do with the Mozzie going ham with the commando? Meanwhile, Kingslayer gets another frag. It's all on the back. Maestro, the Buck, he's going to get a frag. That's 1 kill. Of the 3, he's still got to find 2 more. Skeleton keys out just in case that's the insurance for anybody pushing up. He goes on the drone, nothing to find, brings up another drone. Lots of time left. Almost 60 seconds for the man. Archangel and the John will be very full on HP. Some beauties come out from the smoke as well. Diffusion not in his clutches, and in fact nowhere close to where he's intending to find it, as the maneuver from the defenders is coming in. Look at that. The Jolt now knows where the diffuser is, and that means Papmeister either has to go for the frags or go even for the retrieval of the diffuser with only 40 seconds left on himself. 70 HP on the Buck. Any moment now the push has to come in from him. Yes, it will. He's going to spot on the smoke, but no, smoke is moved back on the red stairs. He's got to be all the while more careful. And looking at the angle being applied by the Mozzie, not a fight you want to be taking, because it's not a fight you will be winning. Dipjol realizes that the Buck has to make this push happen, and so does the Buck. Archangel playing awfully close, and that is it. A shot that comes in from Archangel, and Tyranid Valence off the back of an amazing refract potential that they got for themselves, despite losing the early man count. Selfnade not realizing that it was a bait and switch strategy that happened to be on their own turf, got them to it, beat them at it as well. 5-4, round 10 is where we'll be proceeding to. Valence take the advantage, at least for now.
Ooh, boy, indeed. Valiants have well and truly taken the advantage here. They were down 4-2 on roll swap. And also, curiously enough, this is actually the first time on this match that Valiants have properly taken the advantage. Up until the last round, round 9, they have always equalized with the score of Team Selfnade. But now they are 5-4 in the lead, 1 round away from match point. Yuno goes for the 6th pick out of the gridlock into the Nomad. We will be proceeding with round 10, double digits in rounds. Been a while since we've seen those double digits in rounds. Actually not. Actually, it's not. It hasn't been a while. We had the double digit round finish yesterday on round 12 between, it was Negative Esports versus Team Super. And, again, another refresher for all our viewers. Since I've already mentioned that game, Negative Esports managed to win 75 over Team Super. So that's something, a little bit of a reminder for all of our viewers as to where both of those teams stand currently, as neither Negative Esports or Team Super have had their matches just yet. They will be, of course, in the second half, in the second stream of tonight, after we are done, of course, with this very exciting game. Second Floor Aviator is the site once again from Tyranid Valence. They are, of course, now completing. They are their lap around the map of Villa. Archangel playing below on main entrance is moved to library and moving in towards the living room for the time being. He's going to be roaming, and that is, of course, what he's going to be using the Eager for. So keep with the smoke. He's got to be a little careful, though. Being smoke, he has to stay alive until at least the plant goes out, as that is where smoke shines the brightest. But they do have the Maestro Majimas playing that operator. So, a little bit of a trade-off with whoever you lose first. Of course, gun-wise, you would definitely want to have Maestro alive at the end because of his Alda and the 81-round magazine that he carries around. But the smoke isn't exactly a bad choice either. Ella, the Dipjol has been spotted, Dipjol the Ella has been spotted inside of the main stairs. He's got a shield for himself, a couple of ADSs as well, to stop any attacker utilities from taking out the shield in front of him. The Zofia lifelines are, in fact, coming out. But there we go, you hear the readying impact come out from the lifeline, but no, that's the second impact that's going to be taken out. Praveen's lost pretty much all his utility outside of one concussive grenade, and Dipjol will be very happy with Jaeger's ADS placements. He's actually going to find Pabmeister as well, and that is another big kill. The Buck, who could have been used for a lot of vertical plays to make life hell for the defenders, is off the board as well. Diffuser's been dropped as there we go. The push into offices is happening from what looks to be the thermite right here. Ethan has made his way in, and another comes out. That is the Gershmont giving away the location of the IQ, and Dipjol gets another one. He's gonna finally be shut down, but the Ella has done so much work here, and it took the Nomad to finally cease the tyranny of the Ella sitting on the main stairs. But that has, of course, left the attacking team of Team Selfnade in a 5 versus 4 situation with less than a minute left on the clock. Oh, make that a 5v3. Archangel has an unfortunate disconnect at the worst time possible for Tyranid Valence, as Praveen is making his way through study in towards the door of sight. He's gonna actually be able to get in, but pre-firing away, that has given his position to the defenders that, all right, there's a push coming in from study entry door. It looks like it's a flank coming in from Mozzie, as one of Maestro's Evil Eyes will do a bit of damage. The impact, the concussive does not do anything to that camera, and there we go. What a use of the Evil Eye right there, bugging the Zofia so hard. He can't do anything about it. He's got to go for the peak, or he's going to be taken out by the defenders. And there we go. The shots are fired. The Moz is going to get that kill. It's all down to the one attacker who's going to be pushing inside his side. But no, Saqib is going to shut him down. And goes down at the end, which means TRN8 Valiance, even with the disconnect, are going to win round 10. And that is going to be match point for them. 6-4 is the scoreline on round 11. But we've got a bit of an unfortunate news for everybody because we're going to be going for the rehost called from the side of Aliens because, of course, the disconnect came in from their side. They have to call the rehost to get their last player in. So we're going to be taking a really, really short break on the match right here between these two teams. We'll be right back with the match on Villa. Stay tuned, everybody. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the game between Team Selfnade and TRN8 Valiance on the beautiful map of Villa. I am your host, Blackjack, and joining me again is my co-host, Foxy, as the match is heating up. Ladies and gentlemen, before we got into the rehost, Valiance managed to take round 10 despite the disconnect coming in from their side. They managed to win on second floor Aviator on round 10, giving themselves the match point advantage, and now they're going into the site of Trophy on the defense, while the Team Selfnade, of course, in a bit of a pinch right now. They need to win a couple of rounds to even have a hope of staying alive in this game, because if Valiance manage to win one round, just one round, they will go to the victory screen right here on the second map on the second match of the second day of Division 3 in Season 3 of the WD Black, the Esports Club League for Rainbow Six Siege. Foxy, any thoughts on the match that we've had so far?
No, well, the thought right off the top of my mind is every single time that we get into a rehost, when we come back to it, why does the screen take so much time to load? I mean, I've got myself a WD Black SSD. I'm pretty sure that the players, I mean, every single one of them, they shouldn't be loading. And this has been happening quite a lot. This is a science that I'm going to sit down and solve tonight. I'm not sure what is up, but that out of the way, just important stuff. Coming back to it, important stuff that is Wales taking this 6-4, and every single round coming down very close. And if somehow your team Selfnade pick their pace up for 2 rounds, all they need is 2 rounds only. Happen to bring their pace up, get that equalizer in, and we will see ourselves the second overtime only 2 days into Division 3. Dude, I cannot. Let's just put this match aside just for a few seconds. I just want to point this out on the fact that Division 3 has been off to such a good start. Day was amazing. I've got to say that yesterday, we both did not get to have our dinner on time and whatnot. We did not have a break, etc., etc. We had to completely go on for 4 matches, overtime, maximum more times. But it was fun, and it was so much siege action that I love to watch, and I know for a fact that you love to cast as well.
Oh, absolutely.
So, Division 3 has come down to close matches. And that is something that shows the fact, at least in the sidelines, of the fact that the skill saturation of the community has changed so much over the time. I love to watch that. And not only that, many teams right now that have made their way newly inside Division 3, and I've said this on Facebook, on Instagram multiple times, that Division 3 looking very fresh. And it'll only stand to see on how we'll be seeing Division 3 turn out later. As of now, let's just focus and come back to the day 2 that we have for ourselves. Day 2 of Division 3 is running, and the second match is already turning out to be a very spicy one, very close. Every single round the matches are coming down to. And the standings on the table look really, really different as well. But something that I was not expecting is that TRN8 Valiance, after shutting down one of the most dominating teams that came out to be in qualifiers, and mind you, Valiance themselves made it through qualifiers. So 7-0 yesterday against Seva Esports was something that they pulled off. That's a feat that I was not expecting to pull, but today they're having a little bit of a tough time. They finally got themselves the advantage. But look at this, Sakib trying to land his shots, but he's not going to miss them. He's still going to win that. Ethan gets taken away with the headshot, and some tags come along on the Nomad as well. But that's another fight that he wants to take for another day. He has to back. Sakib doesn't want to overextend himself, and no doubt on board, that means he's still going to be on the HP that he's got for himself right now, about 15 to 20. But that's something that they'll have to be careful about. And it looks like Kingslayers, well, my charges are doing exactly what they're supposed to. Yuno making his way up Astronomy anytime soon, as he's clearing up the barbed wire for himself. He's used both of his Ash charges for that matter on it. A 4 versus 5 already established very early into the round for the side of Valiance, and they might as well walk away with this one. Let's see if they will or not. 6-4 still as we proceed on to the clutches of the end. Towards the end of the round, in fact. 1 minute left on the clock. The defenders got to play this to perfection, but more importantly, it's the pressure is down on the Selfnade. The timer, in fact, the clock is against them. They need to make sure that they get their pacing right, or else this just as well be a place where Valiance happen to walk away with this round. But so far, Valiance playing this to perfection, got themselves some amazing crossfire established, and more than that, salvaging and making out of rounds that you usually don't see defenders win out in situations like those. And that is the speciality of this team. And Dibjol is going to find himself another frag. A nice encounter on the bottom of the Astro stairs. And Dibjol has made his way back up from the bottom Astro onto the top. Now, Praveen Nemesis and Raghavant will be watching that little choke point that Dibjol has created for himself for giving away his position. But the rappel down has already come in. DLR still holding down strong, and any moment he can go for the peak, but he's going to take down the Mine Chest further, shoot out the Zofia charge instead. So that is a thing you can do apparently. I don't know, he's not sure the Zofia charge, but look at that Nomad charge is going to try him off, but Kingslayer is here to get another one. The Nomad taking so many shots to his body, but he's eventually going to win that fight. Doesn't want to go for the confirmation, and that is it. A flawless run, and the first flawless run come in as TRNet Radiance, and a true display of Whaler from this team is going to get themselves this win in a scoreline of 7-4. Valiance take it home on the map of Willa on the day 2 of the TECW Black Division 3 day. Now, what a play day for this team. They've got themselves win, racking up kills, and it's just good to have them here after such a long wait through the qualifiers. Welcome to the league, TRNet Valiance. Oh boy.
Absolutely. Welcome to the league indeed, and looks like they are here to stay. Not just stay, yeah, they are very determined to get that promotion into Division 2, but we still got quite a lot of Division 3 action ahead of ourselves, not just tonight, but in the coming weeks of Season 3 that Valiance are going to have to slog through if they want to assure their position at the top of the Div 3 table at the end of the season. But that is, of course, a long way away, as we'll be taking right now a short break after this amazing match between TRNet Valiance and Team Selfnade. 7-4 is the victory score for TRNet Valiance. And, of course, as a reminder to all of our viewers back at home, the first match was also on Villa between Instinct Esports and Team Area 69. Area 69 won that game 7-2, fairly dominating, especially in the second half of that game. But all of that being said, it is going to do it from the both of us, Blackjack and Foxy, here for this first half of Day 2 of Division 3. And we'll be back very shortly with what I believe is another stream with the remaining 2 games of today. The second half will be coming up to your screens in just a while. And those matches are very, very, very exciting indeed. So more Siege action coming to your screens on the other side of this break. Stay tuned.
The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power, experience. The WD Black NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance.
Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. Let the glorious battle begin. LG Ultragear Gaming Monitor.